It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Good evening, everyone. Vince DeLisio here with Friday Night Live postgame show. What a night for high school football. Joined once again by our amazing broadcast team, Patrick Cohen down in Tucson, Arizona, and Blessing Frazier in Maricopa, Arizona. Blessing, Patrick, how's it going?
It's going great, Vince. And you certainly hit the nail on the head right there. It has been an exciting night for high school football. I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone has to say about the games that they cover tonight.
Yeah, as the scores have been coming through, some games ended a little earlier than others. Expectedly, because there were some delays to kind of kick things off, but some interesting finishes, and looking forward to definitely getting those updates from everyone as we go through. So tonight I was out at Brophy, Central High School had a chance to catch a good amount of that game, and it was fun stuff. Ended up being a beautiful night for high school football, and of course some of our other field correspondents out there were had some great games that they had a chance to report on. So that being said, let's kick things off right off the bat here with our very own Antonio Gutierrez, who was out at Kellis High School tonight covering Desert Mountain and Kellis. Antonio, Blessing, take it away.
Hey, Antonio, just like how we were saying, amazing night of high school football, especially with this game. Sophomore Easton Connor scored that first touchdown just within the first 6 minutes. This is Desert Mountain's third straight win and second straight 50-point win. So, yeah, what do you think that Desert Mountain did defensively to keep Kellis off of the board and then offensively to continue to build that lead?
Yeah, defensively, they were showing so many different coverages. They were running man, they were running zone. But their pressure up front from their D-line was just fantastic. And on the Kellis side, Kellis had opportunities, but some costly penalties really took some explosive plays off the board and really they kind of shot themselves in the foot. But on the offensive side, I mean, Desert Mountain was firing on all cylinders. I think there was 4 or 5 different players that had a touchdown. And, I mean, it was just fun to watch. Their running offense is just insane. You mentioned Easton Connor. He had that first one, and he also found the end zone another time. So their rushing attack, their offensive line was just amazing tonight.
Yeah. And what would you say your favorite play of the night is, or who was your favorite player of the night?
Oh, that's the easiest question I think I've had in my entire life. So we had actually an offensive lineman, Aiden O'Daniel. He scored a touchdown tonight. They ran a little play action to him, and he came off the edge and caught a touchdown pass. Big old number 75, 6'3", 300 pounds, getting in the end zone. I mean, it was a fun play to watch.
That's nice. And speaking of, you talking about multiple players on the team getting multiple touchdowns, it's just nice to see that Desert Mountain has a lot of people that they can utilize. It's just amazing. And what do you think that Desert Mountain should take from this win and carry into their next game for possibly a 4th straight win?
Yeah, they definitely got to keep their special teams the way it is right now. They had 2 blocked punts, which, I mean, one of them got returned for a touchdown as well. So, I mean, if they can keep that going, their momentum will be insane. But, I mean, they got to stick with their bread and butter, their running game. They've got a 3 sets of running backs, I should say, that are just dynamic out of the backfield, and they're hard to stop.
Well, thank you so much, Antonio. Thank you for joining us and covering this game. We hope you have an amazing night.
Have a good night.
Awesome. Thanks, Antonio. Great one tonight out at Kellis again. Desert Mountain and Coach Conrad Hamilton. And be sure tomorrow morning, 9:15 on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, we will have Coach Conrad Hamilton with a post-game wrap. All right. That being said, let's move it right along. We're going to head over to Brophy and Central High School with our very own Dane Palmer. Had a chance to chat with him a little earlier tonight, and quite a game for the Broncos. Take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Vince. So, Dane, an impressive performance tonight by Brophy with a final score of 27-10 over Red Mountain. A very, very impressive game tonight. And also, of course, you highlighted Ryder Noche, the cornerback. What was it about Noche, definitely with the 2 interceptions? what made him stand out, and what made you make him decide to be the player of the game tonight for Brophy?
Yeah, he was just an absolute ball hawk out there tonight. He was finding the ball. He had a nose for it, and it seemed like every play where Red Mountain kind of got stuffed in the backfield, or where they didn't have success, Noche was right there. He was in the action, and of course 2 interceptions in a game like that where it looks like Red Mountains maybe got some momentum. Looks like they can come back. They have a couple long runs. They get a field goal. They get in the end zone. Ryder Noche on the defensive side of the ball just to come back out and silence all of that noise and get the offense back out there, let them run that clock down and give them the ball and chances to score. Was huge. It was huge. He was just an all-out playmaker tonight. It was awesome to watch.
Oh, very nice. That sounds amazing. That sounds really cool, Dane. So also, I have to say also very impressive performance by Brophy, because they handed Red Mountain their first loss of the season after heading 4-0 after entering this game undefeated. So, I mean, this is definitely. Do you think this will definitely be a tone setter for Brophy moving forward?
Yeah, 100%. I think the changes that they've made have worked really well. They gave up 70 last week, and then to come out and to hold an undefeated team, like you said, like Red Mountain, who has a very good offense, to hold them to 10 points, and then to go out there and put 27 points on maybe the best defense that they've faced this year, was pretty electric. Their quarterback number 15, Case. Excuse me. Vanden Bosch. He had an amazing game. He was really stellar on the sideline. Defense was out there every second. He was chanting, screaming and yelling, cheering his teammates on. Of course, Devin Fitzgerald had a huge night tonight. He's making plays all over the place. Number 84, Dalen Sharper, was his first game back from injury. He looks like somebody who has a lot of potential on the offensive side of the ball. He's a big guy, stiff arming people, making guys miss. It just looked like they were firing on all cylinders tonight. And if they continue the rest of the season playing the way they did, especially on that defensive side of the ball, behind Ryder Noche and their front four did an amazing job of just squishing those gaps, making it super difficult to run the ball. And that's kind of what they harped on pregame with Coach Jewell. Don't forget, go check out those postgame and pregame interviews. They're pretty awesome. We got some great postgame interviews. Go check them out on our social media. But yeah, overall, this is a huge turning point for Brophy. Like you said, those two lost, a really tough loss to Hamilton last week. And then to come out, defense only gives up 10. And get a win like this over an undefeated Red Mountain is huge for them.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So thank you very much, Dane. Really appreciate you covering Brophy and Red Mountain for varsity. So hopefully we'll have more exciting games for you you to cover next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dane. Great. Good stuff so far. A lot of fun and some great football tonight. Like I said, I had a bird's eye view tonight, was on the sideline out at Brophy and standing there with sports information director Steve Schaff, great guy, and really had a chance to enjoy some good football tonight. So, what do we have coming up?
Mountain View versus Higley. That amazing game. That was a big game.
Okay, let's bring him on. Let's bring on Matt McCord, who covered that game for us tonight out at Higley. Mountain View, the visitor, Higley, the home team. Matt.
Hello.
Hey, Matt. Big game for the Toros, 50-7. And like we kind of talked about pregame, great response from the Toros after their last game. Kind of talked about how any previous loss fueled them to just dominate the next week after. Brady Goodman himself had 3 touchdowns in the first half alone. And, the Higley joined them for the 7 points within the third quarter, excuse me. But the Knights were not able to just keep up with keep up with Mountain View. But I do want to talk about the last 50 seconds of that game. Quarterback Brock White scored a touchdown. Can you kind of talk about the effort and the consistency that the Toros had throughout the entire night?
Well, from the get-go, they were so aggressive. Coach Littell talked to us before the game. He said that we wanted to get going fast because last week against Basha, they were plagued by turnovers early and slow starts. That's what ended up costing them. Today they got out to a very fast start, right on the gas pedal, right when the game started. And now back to the end of the game, Brock White came in as the backup. The game was out of hand, and he took a read option somewhere around 50 yards to the end zone for a touchdown. And the team was celebrating with him. They were so juiced up for him on that sideline. And since it was a running clock, they hustled onto the field to kick the extra point and get the 50 points. So, yeah, all night it was just very one-sided, and the stars for Mountain View showed out.
Nice. And we kind of talked about how Higley had their record from last year, but the Toros just could not be stopped. What do you think works so well for them, both offensively and defensively?
Well, offensively, like, you hear stories about how good Brady Goodman and Talon Arnett are together. Those two are so special. Brady Goodman, I mean, their offensive line played great, by the way. He was sacked once and almost had no pressure all night. He was delivering balls all over the place in the tight little spots. And then in the second half, Mountain View just ran away with the game by running the ball. I mean, it was just 10-yard carry after 10-yard carry after touchdown. Their first play of the second half, Brady Goodman ran in a touchdown, and then Will Arnett, on the other hand, he returned an onside kick for a touchdown. You don't really ever see that. So, yeah, they're so special. And then defensively, they just got pressure all night. I mean, Higley's quarterback was running for his life the entire game. So that's how it went down.
Yeah, I got a chance to cover that dynamic duo. They're great on the field. But if you had to choose one for the team, who would you say your player of the game would be?
Goodman, because not only is he the quarterback, but he didn't put a step wrong all night. I mean, delivered every pass he could. His running game was amazing. He was picking up 5 yards a carry on the QB sneak tush push, which is ridiculous because he's 6'4". So I mean, a ridiculous game from him. Probably you could put it up there. Probably this is his best game he's played in high school.
Agreed. Well, thank you so much, Matt, for joining us, and we hope you have an amazing rest of your night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Matt McCord out at Higley High School tonight, covering some football there with visiting team Mountain View. Mountain View runs away with a big win tonight for the Toros. We're going to take it out to Highland High School out in Gilbert, Arizona, and our very own Abigail Hardy reporting.
Hi,
Abby,
guys.
hey, so talk to me about Saguaro and Highland. That was our late game tonight.
It was. We just wrapped up I would say about 13 minutes ago, 10 o'clock. It was, if you guys were watching it, you know how a nail biter it was to the last 2 minutes of the game. It was back and forth. Some dicey plays here and there, got some interceptions, and then a pick six on Saguaro, Tristan Armstrong, which he is playing on both sides of the field. He is actually a player of the game, played on both sides. I haven't gotten a chance to talk to him yet, but he just played like his absolute max that he could, and everybody here on this field today.
And Highland, of course, scoring a late touchdown to take the go-ahead score to finish the game and get the win. So a little bit of the wind out of the sails of Saguaro. They were moving the football, and it looks like they just ran out of time.
Yeah, they were unstoppable that first half, and then they still came back in that second half, third quarter, but they just let the foot off the gas in that fourth quarter, and that's how Highland scored that last touchdown to give Highland their first one of the season, actually.
When you look at the play of the SaberCats tonight, and last week, big win over Cesar Chavez. Tonight, playing a bit of a tougher opponent in Highland. Good points, bad points, some takeaways, key takeaways that maybe will help them for next week.
Next week I would definitely Highlands defense really stopped them a lot. They were Sora was still able to get through them, but I think maybe like going into practice, working on those key details, sharpening them out. But the Sabercats are back at their home field after 3 weeks on the road. So having that home field, I think, will definitely like sharpen them up a little bit and just get them going the entire game with their own crowd cheering them on.
Running game, passing game, what was a little more effective for the Sabercats tonight?
Definitely their running game. Absolutely. They were able to make some huge passes through that from their quarterback. It was a good running game tonight for sure.
Okay. Well, there you have it. So the Sabercats and Highland tonight, Highland coming away with the win, a close one, 28-21 over Saguaro. And next week, looking forward to getting out to Saguaro as they host the Higley Knights at their home field. So
yes,
awesome.
Yeah, it should be a good game for them coming back home.
Abigail Hardy. Thanks so much, Abigail.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Great. Well, there you have it. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Guys, don't go anywhere here on Friday Night Live, the post-game show. We've got a lot coming up. Stick around. Like I said, we had 9 games tonight. We're also going to hear from Las Vegas tonight and our crew out there on the tail end of the show. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Andrew Neeram, a junior at the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. I'm excited to show the Varsity Sports Show everything that I can offer on any side of production as I express my love for this business throughout the fall of 2025.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show family. I'm Tommaso Perez from ASU. Join me as I bring you inspiring sports stories and updates from our Catholic schools, where faith, tradition, and athletics come together. Catch me live on KDOS 1060 AM Saturdays from 9 to 11 and during Varsity Sports Show game broadcast.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show. Our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating a platform to promote young people in extracurricular activities and community outreach. If you are interested in partnering up with the Varsity Sports Show, find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or call or text us at 480-779-9437. The Varsity Sports Show, Arizona's home for youth, high school, college, and you.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live, the post-game show. And Vince DeLisio here with Patrick Cohen and our Viva Varsity broadcaster, Mr. Jorge Guajardo, who was out at in Glendale tonight, out at Copper Canyon High School as they hosted a team from out of town. How'd it go?
Yes, it went well, Vince. Weather aside, it was an interesting game, to say none the least. But a number of players on Copper Canyon side really stood out.
Oh, absolutely. So, and also an impressive win tonight by Copper Canyon, defeating Yuma by a final of 40-2, holding Yuma to just a safety. That is a very big win for Copper Canyon, and for Yuma, another devastating loss as they still remain winless. So Jorge, are you hoping that this will be a turnaround for Copper Canyon now that they've had a dominant performance over Yuma? So do you feel like this will be a turnaround for Copper Canyon going forward into the season?
It looks like it could actually absolutely be that, Patrick. Looking at their schedule, they only play one team that's at 500 the rest of the year. Obviously, it's still a little bit early, and so some of these games will play out. We'll see some teams might rise to the challenge, but Washington is the only team on their schedule right now that's at 500. So this team could make a run after this win.
Absolutely. And if you're Yuma right now, I mean, you have to be devastated because you're desperately trying to search for that win. And I just wanted to ask you, what is this going to do to Yuma as a whole? Because they're 0-4 right now. They haven't won a single game. How does Yuma improve and go forward from this devastating loss to Copper Canyon?
Yeah, this was a tough loss, and they obviously have a long trip back to Yuma, right, where that bus is probably going to be silent. There were some improvements, though. The beginning of the game, they were getting gashed. I mean, they were giving up chunk plays, big touchdowns. I mean, there was a drive. The second drive of the game for the Aztecs was a one-play touchdown drive. After halftime, though, they obviously came out and had made some adjustments. They were a little bit better offensively. They were able to get the first down of the game after halftime. They made some adjustments, and they were able to limit Copper Canyon there in scoring in that second half. So there's some momentum there coming out of the second half that they can build on, I think, that will hopefully help them improve the rest of the season.
Yes, absolutely. So, Jorge, really appreciate you covering this game for Viva Varsity. Really appreciate your talent and your skill, and hopefully we'll get to hear from you next week for next week. So, really appreciate it, Jorge.
Absolutely, Patrick. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Good stuff. Thank you so much. Okay, let's head back down to Tucson, and we'll be joined by our very own Anastasia Rastelli, who will be talking to Blessing about tonight's game out at Amphi. Anastasia.
Hi, how's it going, guys?
Good, how are you?
It's going well. So we had a very interesting game today. The game did get cut short, I believe, about 6 minutes into the second quarter. There was a little bit of a tussle, especially on the Chargers end, and they may or may not have run out of players, which led to an automatic win for the Amphitheater Panthers. I will say, though, prior to this all happening, I believe the Chargers were at 13 and the Panthers were at 6. But there wasn't really much to cover outside of that because the game just got cut off so short, unfortunately. But yeah, from what I saw, it was a pretty exciting game. We were all having a great time. The weather was beautiful. The crowd was awesome. It was all up until that second quarter came around.
Yeah, we only got to see the first half of that game, unfortunately. For pregame, we kind of talked about how the teams were closely matched, but what do you think stood out from both teams that drew themselves apart from each other?
Yeah, so I feel like coming into the game, the Chargers were much better on offense. They looked a lot more composed compared to the Panthers and a lot more confident going in, but as the game was picking up, actually, we started to see the Panthers more on the offensive end, and they started looking pretty good. It was just that the fact that it got cut off short that we couldn't see that accelerate throughout the game. There were a lot of flags thrown in the beginning of the game, and I think that was just like them fighting through their nerves. But all in all, there was not a lot of players on both teams, which is why the game ended so early. But yeah, I mean, the offensive ends were looking pretty good. Yeah.
I think both teams have 30, around 32 to 38. They have less than 40, so that makes sense. Football teams tend to be large. But going on to my second question, is kind of following up on what you said. What were you most excited to see that we didn't get a chance to?
I was really excited to see more of the defensive end because we were focusing really offense heavy, just kind of trying to see what the game plan was for the teams. I will say, for each team, we highlighted number 24, Tristan on Panthers. His name was brought up a lot, and then Victor Rojo, number 9 on the Chargers. They were looking pretty good. Throughout the game, we said their names a few times. So, yeah, just we were wanting to see more of them and see more of the defensive end, which we didn't get to see.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, once they go against the Catalina Foothills next week, we'll be a chance to see that. But thank you so much for joining us tonight, and thank you for covering this game.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much.
You have a good night.
Awesome. All right. We're actually going to go to the far West Valley, Tonopah Valley, hosting Highland Prep West with our very own Carmen Liberto. Carmen.
Hi. I cannot hear again. I'm so sorry. I pulled over to try and get better reception.
Nah, that's okay, Carmen. That's okay, Carmen.
Oh, I hear you now. Never mind.
That's okay, Carmen. So, Carmen, an impressive win tonight by Tonopah Valley, 43-6 over Highland Prep West, and Tonopah Valley just their second win of the season. And tell me a little bit about your player of the game, Xavier Fazio, and what he contributed to Tonopah Valley's victory tonight.
Yeah, he was a well-rounded player on defense, offense, just everywhere on the field tonight. He had about 3 touchdowns for the game, and then I want to say earlier in the game he did have an interception, or that might have been another player. But either way, he was just a fantastic player on the field tonight. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. And, definitely has to be a confidence booster for Tonopah Valley. Just their second win of the season. A big surprise over Highland Prep West, which was coming into this game 3-2. Tonopah Valley handed them their third loss of the season. So do you feel like this will be a good confidence booster for Tonopah Valley as they move on into next week?
Absolutely. Talking to the coach, he said this was a really good confidence boost for them. They ended last season going, undefeated, and then to kind of lose in the second round of the playoffs. I think this is a really good confidence boost for them going up against Glendale Prep. And, the coach said they're a good team as well, but he is ready to face them, especially with their powerful defense.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much, Carmen. Really appreciate you taking time to talk to us here on Friday Night Live. And thank you so much for covering Tonopah Valley, Highland Prep West, and good luck next week.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. All right, great. Good stuff, guys. As we continue to take the show and get a lot of game recaps here, we're going to send it out, and our very own Danny McDermott tonight. Take it away, Danny.
Hi, Blessing. Hi, Vince.
Hi, Danny. So Sierra Linda stays undefeated. But at the beginning of the game, you actually could not tell because it was Shadow Mountain leading 13-7. But Michael Fulton, number 2, he had that game-winning touchdown towards the end. Can you kind of talk about the game and how it played out and just the uncertainty of the game, I suppose?
Honestly, both teams came out with impressive defenses. It was more of a run game, pretty much. And when Michael scored that touchdown, no one was expecting it. I think everyone was expecting Shadow Mountain to take the victory, and it just really was like, if you really keep putting your heart into it, you are going to finish the game. And I think they finished the game really strong.
Yeah. And close win, like you said, 14-13. And pregame, we kind of talked about how they're equally balanced teams. But what did you see that both teams did well to get both on the scoreboard, but also not allow too much of a gap?
Honestly, I do want to focus on Logan Lewandowski, number 77 for Shadow Mountain. I think he was one of the key factors in this entire game. He had 5 sacks alone, making his season 8 sacks. He also forced a fumble. He both sides of the defense was, again, I told you, was very spectacular, and they just mostly stayed on the line of scrimmage. It was, again, complete rushing game. Not many passes were thrown, but when they were pretty long, there was a pretty far receiving touchdown from, I believe it was when it was Shadow Mountain, it was a pretty long throw. But it was just, again, like I said, practically just a rushing game and running game. But it was a great game to watch and see the comeback.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm excited to see how Shadow Mountain comes back from this loss next week, and also how Sierra Linda continues that run streak. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Great job, Danny. Wow. Okay, so we're going to wrap up. We've got one more, and we're going to send it out to Las Vegas, and specifically our very own Thomas Gabo that was on the call tonight for Foothill and Liberty. Let's bring Thomas on. There he is. Thomas, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Vince?
Great. Take it away, Patrick.
Thank you, Vince. So, Thomas, a very impressive win tonight for Liberty over Foothill. Liberty defeated Foothill 50-30, so a 20-point difference between those two schools. And so, what really stood out to you, and who was and talk about your player of the game for Liberty?
Yeah, so for Liberty, Ezra Santavelli, he was the bell cow tonight, picking up first downs, breaking tackles. He really was the accelerator on the Liberty offense. And, Santavelli's excellent players, 3-star running back, recruit. And, I'm sure a lot of colleges will look to recruit him.
Yes, absolutely. And also, in terms of performance tonight, both of these teams, had winning records heading into this game. Did you expect this game to be a lot closer than it was between Liberty and Foothill, considering that they both had winning records and good records heading into this game?
Right. Yeah. So this was the first game in the 5A conference for both of them. So obviously they're looking to come out, strong, try and punch each other in the mouth. But it was close at one point. Early in the first half and then a little bit in the second half. But, Liberty being the powerhouse that they are, the number 2 ranked team in Nevada, we're just better tonight, especially in the fourth quarter.
Well, that's absolutely. So certainly Liberty with a 50-30 win over Foothill. Thomas, really appreciate you covering this game for Liberty and Foothill in Vegas. So, and hope you have much more success next week.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thank you, Thomas. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break to wrap things up on tonight's show. We'll be back.
Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show. Hey fans, Vince with the Varsity Sports Show. You've had the rest. Now treat yourself to the best Japanese grill in Arizona. It's the Boss. Boss Bachi Japanese Grill in Mesa. Grilled shrimp, steak, and all the best veggies with or without a twist of spice. Sure to please everyone. Dine in or take out. Located at University and Country Club in Mesa. Open daily. 602-859-3759. The Boss. Boss Bachi. Hablamos Español.
All right, guys. Any big surprises tonight?
Surprises? I wouldn't say necessarily I was surprised by anything. I think I was very impressed by the big blowouts, both by Mountain View and Desert Mountain. Just amazing use of play. And also, I love that teams are utilizing their underclassmen. They're making huge plays and just getting their name out there within their first 2 years of high school.
How about you, Patrick?
I would say one of the big surprises for me is both Copper Canyon and Tonopah Valley, considering the fact neither of those schools had very good records coming into tonight's game, and both Copper Canyon and Tonopah Valley just absolutely hammered their opponents. I mean, Copper Canyon over Yuma 40-2, and Tonopah Valley 43-6 over Highland Prep West. Both very impressive performances from two teams that didn't really have good records coming in. So that definitely was the big surprise for me tonight.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of our team, be sure tomorrow morning to listen to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. We've got a lot of good stuff that we're going to be featuring, including the coaches of tonight's games. And our field correspondents will give a call and get another post-game wrap after they've had some time to kind of think about it and put together their reports for tomorrow morning's show. So once again, on behalf of our amazing team, our field correspondents covering all 9 of our games tonight, as well as our in-studio hosts, Blessing Frazier and Patrick Cohen. My name is Vince Delicio. Thanks again for tuning in to Friday Night Live postgame. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school football previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.